What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm back doing more Pokemon VGC Patreon team fixing. This is where we fix teams that are submitted to me on Patreon, and this team submitted by Diego is one of the best teams that's been submitted for the whole list. If you guys have a team you want me to take a look at, using some battles and do my absolute best to fix and make the best it could possibly be, think about checking out the link in the description to the official Patreon team submission post. We're going to take a look at that right now and basically just scroll down a little bit. So we're taking a look at Diego's team, which is right here. So this is a team that I already know. We kind of worked on it together and like a previous version of it. And they took this team to a 29-player Premier Challenge on January 26th, and they won right? So they went 3-2 in Swiss, and then I think they won the whole tournament after that. So they were looking for how to modernize the team for the current meta, because the team is a little bit dated. It struggles versus Bloodmoon. I think they're going to talk about its struggles versus like Trick Room. They talk about good matchups versus other weather setters, because we have a Whimsicott with Sunny Day. It has a good matchup versus Iron Crown, has a good matchup versus Dozo, and how it handles a couple of these other popular teams. They say it struggles with Gouging Fire, Wolf Balance, Hatterene Size Spam, and Blood Moon Trick Room. So they want to see how the team could be better suited for the moment, and would really appreciate feedback, be it small like EV spreads or items, or big changes like changing several mons. So if we take a look at the team again, really good stuff. I think this is very standard. I really like the clear amulet on Gouging Fire. I think it's probably the best item on the mon right now. I think a lot of people use a booster energy on Gouging Fire, but I like the clear amulet. It just disincentivizes Incin. This whole team is like amazing at making sure Incin doesn't like bully the game. So that's one thing this team's doing really well. If you guys want to use this rental code, like I just said, it's a Premier Challenge winning rental code. So it's a good team already. I don't know if there's that many changes I could make to optimize it without heavily changing things. If we wanted to take a look at the Poke Paste that was submitted with this, which I'll have linked in the description as well, I think the changes I would make are changing things like this Urshifu. I think it's a cool set, but I think you'd be better off with a couple other mons. I think Whimsicott is a cool mon, but at the end of the day, I wonder how much you actually utilize the Whimsicott. And in an open team sheet situation, I don't know if Whimsicott is like the right mon for the situation. There might be something that's a little bit better. And while I think Glimmora is good, I think the time when like Meteor Beam Glimmora like is really solid in the meta, we're losing that window. So I think that if our job for the Glimmora here is to disincentivize Incineroar and close out other mons, like Ogerpon and a couple other things, there might be a couple other mons that are a little bit better suited. But that being said, we're going to go play some games with this team and hopefully get some wins and then fix things to the best of our ability and get even more wins. So wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, so this is one of the teams that you said you struggled with. Like, if we take a look at the official, like, team submission post, they wrote that this team actually struggles with, like, Hatterene Size Spam. This is, like, Hatterene Gallade Size Spam, so this is, like, the ultimate version of what I think this team struggles with the most. Honestly, I think that your biggest way that you could just solve this matchup would be by replacing one of these Pokemon, specifically this Urshifu right here for an Incineroar. I think having a vested Incineroar would give you fake out pressure. Know that that's not very good with the Entity, but we're going to make some other changes to where we're able to facilitate that and help in this matchup. Specifically, though, right now, we don't really have that many tools. I think it's a great assessment of like this team's shortcomings that there are not that good lines into this team. We basically have to just let them get up TR and try and punish them for it. So that being said, I think our best options are probably going to be something like Ogerpon is good into this. You could go Gouging Fire. You could go Urshi. We will lead Urshi. I'm not that happy about it. And then, like, honestly, you need to bring Pokemon with Protect. I think Flutter is a great closer, but we cannot wait out this Trick Room without Protect. So we're going to bring all of our mons have Protect in the back. We're going to wear a Vested Urshi, try and stick that Snarl. But yeah, I think if we were to add something like an Incineroar for our Vested Urshi, it's doing the same job. It still has that Vested Snarl Dark typing, but you have the Fake Out, you have the U-Turn, you have the Intimidate, you have a lot more utility attached to that slot, and we're able to have a lot more sustain. It's better against Bolt, it's better against so many more things. So going to this first one, if we had an Incineroar here, this lead would be absolute garbage from our opponent. But like right now, they can just trick him with the Entity and hit us with like a Deacon with the hat. And there's not that much that we could do about it because they're probably like sashed. They could even be cloaked, which would still be like a really big problem for the Snarl. So that being said, I think what I'm going to do here is go for just an Ivy Cudgel. We're going to target down the hat. If we crit this hat with that, I think we'll be in a good spot. Like let's say they go for the Trick Room Entity and they try and get the Dazzling Gleam, and we crit this Ivy Cudgel, we'll be able to break the hat here with just this. We have Fire Tear if we need it. I'm going to save that for next turn if I need it. So we're just going to go for the straight Snarl here, try and mitigate some damage here. And we're forcing a Terra. Now, I would not be surprised if this forces Indeedee into like a reactionary like Fairy Terra, which is absolutely fine. So I really like the Snarl, right, that you have on this Urshifu. I just think that an Incineroar would do like a much better job. And then like if we added something else like a Rillaboom on this team, I know you said you were open to a bunch of different pivots and changes. We pivot in, take away the terrain, can fake out the hat, right? And then next time we have another fake out and we get like 2 Snarls out of it. It's so valuable. So that's good damage on Indeedee. You don't really want to KO the Indeedee, and we're going to see if this is Covert Cloak Hat right now. It's really important. Really, really important to see if it's Covert Cloak Hat. It's not. So it probably means it's a Life Orb or Sashed. And they're just going for the hard Trick Room right here, and they're at -1, which means they shouldn't be able to realistically break our Ogre Pawn. And they shouldn't be clicking Expanding Force because there's a Dark Urshi. They're going to click Dazzling Gleam. So that means we have a few more turns with this Ogre Pawn to do basically whatever we want. We can weave in a Spiky Shield. I think I'm just going to go for a Horn Leech into this slot and just pivot in the Glimmora here. And we're going to bring out this Urshi after the Trick Room's gone if we can wait it out. That's the idea here. Again, you should not be clicking Expanding Force. Next turn, you might click Expanding Force. I'll go for a double Spiky Shield and then pivot out the Glimmora for the Urshifu. That's the idea here. And then we'll, be fine. There's the Dazzling Gleam, just like we said. It's great. Ogerpon's going to take a lot of damage. And note that we do not want to get that Indeedee off the board yet. It's not important to get it off the board. We want to leave that thing on the board, because even though it's helping handing and doing AoE damage here, if we let them bring in like a Torkoal or a Ursaluna or something like that, we would just lose the game, right? So we have to continuously also, this is the hardest part of the game right now. This right here is the hardest part of the game, because they can go for a Trick Room of their Trick Room and get a whole fresh set of paint on their Trick Room. Very, very scary, very, very dicey. I'm going to have to let them do that. If they want to be gamers, I cannot stop them from gaming. This should condition them into an Expanding Force, though. This is a great looking Expanding Force team. Let's see if they read it. Trick Room, Trick Room? Are they gamers? Let's find out. This guy's pretty high ranked, so they might. I would. Follow me. Cool, they're just going for an Expanding Force. Awesome, they're playing it so standard. They're following every single standard flowchart. So there's the Expanding Force next turn. Like I said, we're going to pivot in that Urshi. I'm probably going to Terastallize my Water Pawn. And I'm thinking if I even get that KO with Horn Leech, or if I should just Ivy Cudgel. Turns on Trick Room R. 2. Alright, so I'll pivot in Urshi. And if I do this, I get the special attack boost. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Don't want to lose the Glimmora just yet. Glimmora is still really, really valuable. Pivoting out Indeedee for Bloodmoon, maybe? Or not Bloodmoon, regular Ursaluna. Oh, it's Torkoal. Ooh, but I just said Ivy Cudgel. This could go badly. This could go badly for me. But we are going to be able to wait this out. Right? We are going to be able to wait this out. We need Glimmora to break that Torkoal in the back, by the way. And Urshi's not bad. Let's see if they read this and go for a D-Gleam. Should have just Horn Leeched, I think. I think I should have just Horn Leeched. But let's see. We're going to get that +1 Spadef boost. Our Ogre Pawn set has full HP investment, which is correct, and very limited. I think it's only 4 points in Spadef, but I still think we're in a good spot here. Alright, let's see. If they crit us, remember, they're at -1. So, like, that's why, like, this is still very safe. There's a D-Gleam. What a read from our opponent. They still KO our Urshi, and they do crit our Ogre Pawn. All that for naught. Oh, that's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. I still think we can make some plays, though. If this does KO the hat, we're in a great time. We're in for a great time. That sucks we got crit, by the way. Really, really bad that we got crit. Because now we're in range for, like, an Indeedee Dazzling Gleam, which would not be normal here. So we're going to be able to bring back out the Glimmora, go for a double protect, and then we're going to be able to pin the Torkoal and the Indeedee. We could even bring out the Gouging Fire. Ooh, I like the Gouging Fire here, because we still have Burning Bulwark. Like, I'm not afraid of anything else. There's the Luna. That's fine. Right? Horn Leech goes burr into that thing. I think we have to double into it, though, right? Am I wrong? Let me think about this. Photosynthesis, give me that attack boost, boys. I might just go Spiky Shield. Because I'm going to Spiky Shield, right? And then, like, I don't care if you want to Earth Power me. Do I want to Dragon Dance here? Are you going to practice? This is your last turn of Trick Room. I'm going to just Dragon Dance. I want this. I want to Dragon Dance. I want the damage. You might be protecting your Ursaluna. You might be, to get your Guts proc. You're not going to KO my Gouging Fire, right? Not with just a... and if you do go for, like, let's say you go for a Headlong Rush... you get a stat drop, which means we just come in hot with, with our, whatever we feel like. You know, I think we have Glimmora in the back. Like, Energy Ball, still a lot of damage. Pivoting out Torkoal for Indeedee. Okay. This should be okay. Because we'll be able to take that thing out with Gouging Fire. We don't know then as well. They are the protect. So this was a good play for me. Look at this. Correct plays were made today. Awesome. So Heat Crash is going to be able to take out that entity. There's no more threat of Trick Room ever happening. Dang, I kind of want to just click, what is that move? Breaking Swipe. It'd be good damage and it would mitigate the Guts boost. That'd be kind of nice. I wish we still had our Urshifu, but it's fine. So let's see. Do we think they have Earthquake? Earthquake would definitely kill this Gouging Fire from here. And we're kind of thick though. I'm going to Horn Leech you here, and this will KO. The Heat Crash into this guy will KO. Here we go. Heat Crash. No more entity. I'm glad they didn't Helping Hand. It tells me that they were trying to Trick Room, not go for like a Helping Hand boosted Earthquake. So we'll let them get one KO on something here. If they want to take out the Ogre Palm, we bring out Glimmora, which still checks their Torkoal. I want to see how much damage they take from this Horn Leech. It's going to do a pretty decent amount. We're only 44 though. Ugh. That's fine. That's a good amount. You know, I think Heat Crash from here can take out in the sun. EQ. They did have EQ. Why didn't they Helping Hand? Weird. Weird to see no Helping Hand. I mean, they had it. They showed it earlier. Earthquake is good on that Mon, though. Hey, and remember, we got crit on that, like, D-Gleam that basically forced our hand in that situation anyways. Good play from our opponent. I think we still can win. We just don't know what kind of Torkoal they have. Right? If it's more support Torkoal and it doesn't have Earth Power, we are in for... We do have shots. Maybe in that situation, I think I had to play it just like that. I couldn't go protect Gouging Fire. I don't think I could have. We can one-shot the Torkoal and ignore... They're going to protect Torkoal and Earthquake because they have to. Right? Or are they clicking Earthquake? What if I were to... click Spiky Shield and see if they clicked Earthquake? Would that work? Is that correct? I'm doing it. Why not? I don't see a reason why we don't. I want to see if you have Earth Power. And if your spec's Torkoal, like Headlong. Okay, so you have Headlong Rush. Value. And is it Earth Power? Headlong Rush and Earthquake. Oh, and they have Earth Power, right? So we do lose. There's no way that we get out of this. There's absolutely no way that we get out of this. If we had Sludge Wave, maybe. Heck, Glimmora shouldn't be able to eat a Torkoal boosted move like that. I think the only out would be to Meteor Beam the Torkoal here. And the reason we want to do this is because we know that the Ursaluna can protect because it showed it. So it's technically the right play to go into the Torkoal slot here. And maybe protect. Yeah, we'll lose the Headlong Rush probably. But I want to say, we did everything right in the matchup that is already arguably hard. We got crit. It is what it is. Like I said, this is really hard. I think the changes we would want to make, though, are something like adding maybe an Incineroar over the Urshifu. That way we wouldn't just swap in on a D-Gleam, a vested -1 D-Gleam and still die. I think that would have been like a good addition to this team over the Urshifu. I think another thing that we could potentially change is maybe adding like a Rillaboom so we can pivot in and take away some of that terrain. I think Rillaboom would be a better mon on this team than something like the Whimsicott. If we were to take a look at this team's right here, if we were to make this into like an Incin and then maybe make this into a Rilla, you could then change this to Grassy Glide, change its EV spread. So now you have like a Prio Spam core with terrain sustain for these things. And then maybe, I think the Glimmora is cool, but let's think of like what Glimmora's job realistically is. Is it Glimmora's job to get Incineroar off the board? Well, other Pokemon can do that, like Gouging Fire can do that, Ogerpon can do that, especially if we change its EVs, Fluttermane can do that, Incins can outvalue other Incins if you build them correctly, so Glimmora doesn't need to like cheese Incineroar or other Gouging Fires. We can add one Pokemon that does like the same thing while also covering up for Rilla, because Rilla would give our Rilla and our Ogerpon a problem. Maybe we add like a Galar Zapdos here. Also has like a soft, mitigation from Incin with the Define ability, adds like a ground nullification. So it's going to help us versus Rillas. It's going to help us trade effectively. And then from there, it's just going to be a different way to play the team, pivoting in and out with like fake outs and intimidate. So those are the changes I'm planning on making. But let's go into a couple other games and see if we get some wins. Because that one, I think we would have won if we didn't lose our Urshifu to a crit. So let's go into another one. Or we didn't lose Urshifu to a crit. Our Water Pond got really low, and if Water Pond wasn't so low, I think we could have won that game. Oh, that's weird. Rampardos, Glamora, Carbink. So I'm respecting Trick Room here. This is another type of team, very similar to what they said they had problems with, like Bloodmoon, like Trick Room, stuff like that. I'm going to actually check the official post right here. Yeah, so if we take a look at the official Smith's post again, it said they struggles with like Bloodmoon Trick Room. This isn't a very standard Bloodmoon Trick Room, but this is Bloodmoon Trick Room. Like, they're going to Trick Room with the Carbink. People don't necessarily know Carbink gets Trick Room. And I think our out here is going to actually be to Encore the Carbink back into whatever move that we back into Trick Room, right? So I think we can actually just lead with something like really, really oppressive. I think Gouging Fire is kind of nice here. It's not that great in Rampardos though, so I think I'm going to lead Whimsicott Flutter. Gouging Fire is hard to use here against Bloodmoon. I'm going to bring the Ogre Pawn. And again, if I had an Incineroar, I would definitely be cycling Incineroar all over this matchup. I just don't really think that like Incineroar is going to be too hot here. We have Earth Power Grass Terra up here. That might just have to be what we use. I don't really like Glamora in this matchup, honestly. It's not my jam, but hey, you know, it's better than our other options, right? Plus, if we like let them get up their Toxic Spikes, we can pivot in our Glamora to take away Toxic Spikes from them. So I guess it does work. But let's see how this goes. Again, we're pretty high on the ladder on this alt account. I think we're like top 1K. So let's see the caliber of players. I think this is like a popular rental team people are using right now. So they're going to go like Choice, Scarf, like Head Smash, like absolutely like body everything. The cool thing about this team that Diego submitted is that this Flutter boosts into speed, right? So we can actually just set Sunny Day and just technically get a speed boost out of it. But that being said, I don't necessarily know if I want to do that. I wonder if the Carbink's going to Terrastalize. Do we think so? I'm actually going to double into it because like people disrespect Carbink, and I don't. We respect Carbink in this house. Heavily respect Carbink. Oh, they put Dazzling on their first move. I always put Moonblast. All right. Yeah, I don't need to hit that guy yet. I can just hit that next turn, and you're probably going to go into Flutter anyways. But then like we have the right Mons in the back to be able to take that thing out. They might even be protecting Trick Rooming. I don't know what Rampardos set they're using. Most people when they use Rampardos use Scarf. And I don't think Scarf Rampardos even outspeeds Flutter. But let's see what they do here. And like I said, Carbink's ability is sturdy. It gets Trick Room and a bunch of other cool things. We're just trying to get that thing off the board this turn. Absolutely off the board. And we might get it. It's a lot of damage. Yeah, no Trick Room. Trick Room denied. We respected Carbink. If they were Citrus, that would have been hard to deal with, but they're usually not. So Iron Head and Flutter, yeah, we have to take the L. We take the. It cost us our Flutter. It cost us like a lot of our damage, but like honestly, remember what we have in the back. Like we have Ogre Pawn, we have Glamora. Yes, our Terra's down here, but like, what are you gonna do? Send out Bloodmoon? Like I'm coming in hot, and you are now locked into that. I'm pretty sure that's a banded set. I don't think it's vested on the Rampardos either. I think it's banded. So Ogre Pawn's pretty busted here. And the Ogre Pawn mirrors, let the mirror begin. So yeah, do I just double into that? Like I don't really care. I'm okay with this. What do you do? Follow me? I can just Encore it. Yeah, and if they did get Trick 'em up, I think they're usually Mental Herb on that Carbink or even Covert Cloaked. We would have tried to Encore it if they got it up, but yeah, I like what we had first. I like the way this works. Are you gonna Terrastalize your Rampardos? Go nuts. It's a good play. Flying Terra Rampardos. Okay. I vibe with that. Are you vested? I guess they might be vested. And they didn't follow me, so I could have just Ivy Cudgeled it. Huh. Okay. Yeah, good play. Woodhammer. Ooh, ow. Hello, are you okay? Ow, ow, ow. And Terra Blast. Okay, so they do have all the damage in the world. Alright, so they are vested probably then. That's Sash. You could just Iron-Headed that and kept the illusion that you could have swapped your moves. Let's think though. We are faster than their Ogre Pawn. And we have Glamora in the back. So if I get up a Tailwind, this will break their Ogre Pawn. Like with a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to low-key put up a Tailwind and just go for like a Spiky Shield. And just wait a turn. I don't want to, like, get follow me'd and, like, give them health back. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I like the play that I made. Okay. And we might not even lose the Wims this turn, honestly. Like, that might be bad. I kind of wanted to lose this Wims, bro. Rock Slide. Okay, cool. Please hit my Wims. And that they're giving me vested vibes right now. All right, so let's think about what we need to do to win. Because Gomorrah's good, right? But if their last mon, like, hard checks it, we do lose. We have a lot of good stuff. We can Meteor Beam into the Ramparados, who I think is vested, so we'll get the KO. We can follow me away the Ivy Cudgel. So I think I'm going to do that. I could hit them with a Horn Leech, but I don't think that's the right play. I'd rather try and get the value follow me. So I'm going to Meteor Beam here and protect my Gomorrah from all forms of anything. And then hopefully Gomorrah can check their last mon. Their last mon's most likely the Bloodmoon, and maybe... I don't think I beat Bloodmoon at all. Let me think. There's no way that I win this one if that's the case. So this is just the right play. Now let's see it. Maybe they'll Spiky Shield with their Ogre Yeah, that works, dude. If I keep my Gomorrah... Sorry, if I keep my Ogre I think I win. I want to check some EV spreads here. Is our Gomorrah faster than our Ogre Our Gomorrah's 138, our Ogre 169. Okay. I think that's still fine. But then, like, it is going to come down to Bloodmoon versus the rest of their team. I'm getting this thing off the board. Easy peasy. Give me that +1 special attack. So that means next turn... This is still going to be really dicey if their last mon is Bloodmoon, which it should be, right? It should be Bloodmoon. Okay. I can Sludge Bomb your Ogre and protect, and then eat with my Ogre and then eat the Earth Power, and then you just win the game. Or do I just double into your Bloodmoon and you go follow me? That would just lose me the game, right? It's the same play, but I lose the game. I lose the game for it. Oh, I hate this. All right, like, because this will kill your Ogre and I have Tailwind up. If I go like this, though, this would redirect the Earth Power. I'll die then. It's fine. Have to do it. I might not die. Vacuum Wave. They were using that anyway, so I guess if I Spiky Shielded there, I would have won. Damn! They're orbed, okay. Yeah, we lose. If I would... Well, there's no way that we win that, then, honestly, because they can always Vacuum Wave that slot. I guess I could have weaved in an extra attack with the Gomorrah. Vacuum Wave Bloodmoon. Crazy busted. I mean, they're going to have Earth Power. Is there anything we can do here? We can click Earth Power, but we go down to Earth Power first. I guess a crit Earth Power is the right play. They already Terra'd. Yeah, I guess like if we had a Energy Ball. No, I think Earth Power is still a good play, but yeah, let's just go for it. It's the best play that we got. And let's see it. But again, another really hard matchup. I think that Bloodmoon is hard, and we're talking about the changes that we want to make with this team. It sucks we're going over 2, right? But the changes that we would like to make with this team are adding that Incineroar to have like a good healthy pivot mon. Right now we don't have any healthy pivot mons. We could add a Rillaboom for a little bit of grass move and sustain, and it would solve like, oh, why did they Bloodmoon? Hello, are you... That's not right. Are they thinking Vacuum Wave kills me? I actually want to see, does Vacuum Wave make contact? I think it does. Even though it's a special move. I'm going to find out anyways. I don't care what they do. Do they not have Earth Power? Did they cut Earth Power for Vacuum Wave? On their Orb set? Hello? Huh, they're going for Protect? What are they doing? I mean, yeah, if we lose the Vacuum Wave, let's check our EV spread here. We have 4 points in SPDEF and 12 points in HP. If we live this Vacuum Wave from the Life Orb Bloodmoon, we're gamers. And just go for Earth Power. God damn it. We almost won that. They don't have Earth Power. Frustrating. That being said, I do think that if we added like a Rillaboom, we'd have a lot more sustain. Like you were talking about when on your write-up, this team is like extremely dated. You would like the team to be better suited for the moment, and really appreciate feedback, be it small EV spreads or items or big changes like changing several mons. And I do think that, I think that the Gouging Fire, we're going to keep the Gouging Fire, but this team doesn't facilitate correct Gouging Fire usage. The way that we get up Dragon Dances and the way that we stack like those breaking swipes is through fake outs, through redirections, through damage mitigation, right? Through the use of like Rillaboom having some sustain so we can actually weave in our bulwark and have value, through intimidates, through cycling, and through like defiant mons that we can actually utilize to make it so they don't want to utilize their intimidators. Now remember, we have a clear amulet, right? And even if you're playing this in open TBG, they can see the clear amulet. But if they want to stop our Dragon Dance, they need to kill us or fake out us. And if we can have a mon like Zapdos that takes a lot of the pressure off of our Gouging Fire, right? Even though we could block the fake out or the intimidate on the Incin, they aren't going to bring the Incin because like fake out's just not viable. Sorry, intimidate's not viable in a Zapdos. And if you disincentivize the Incin, you get more Dragon Dances. So that being said, the small change that I was talking about would really help us versus these two variants of Trick Room. I'm going to play one more game because I want to get the win. But hopefully you guys can see that we're playing the team correctly, but these are just the bad matchups that are listed, and we're talking about what we would like to do to fix them. I think people underestimate the value in taking L's, learning why you're losing, and learning what changes you could be making to optimize something to be a little bit better in the future. All right, Dango, Lando, Urshi. Is that Urshi Water or Urshi Dark? It could really be both on this team. I think it's Urshi Water. So let's think. What do we really want to do here? I don't necessarily think we need to set Sun, but we could. I think that Gouging Fire is a good mon here. Gouging Fire is pretty good here. This is where if you had an Incin, I would love to lead Incin into this guy's team. But Gouging Fire is not bad. I think Gouging Fire or Glimmora. I really like the Glimmora on this lead. It disincentivizes their Incin. They're probably going to bring Amoonguss out at some point, which we just want to follow me with Dave forever for this. And then I don't think Urshifu with Vest is just really cutting it. I'm just not really vibing with it here. It's okay into Dango. It's okay into Amoonguss. I guess I'll try it. You know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm sure you made some good calcs for this thing. If we take a look at this Urshi set, though, like, I think it would just be better off as an Incineroar, right? It's so bulky. Yes, it has Drain Punch, it has Snarl, but I just don't really see the value in it personally. I think it's trying to do way too much. Like, I think if you really, really like this Urshi set, you might just really like Scrafty. Again, I'm just throwing out ideas here for what we could do to optimize things. Hitmontop is another one. I know Diego, the person that submitted his team, also is like a big fan of like Volcarona. Volcarona and Hitmontop have gone together for years as like top mods, really, really solid core. You could think about using something like them as well. But let's see what this guy leads with here. Incin and Amoonguss. So we have the Water Palm pivot, right? We have the Gouging Fire Glimmora. So we can go Grass Terror Glimmora and just pivot in if we wanted, or we could just Heat Crash this Amoonguss in the mouth. I'm gonna go Spiky Shield and pivot in my Water Pond. And the reason we're gonna Spiky Shield is because I don't want to get Fake Out Spore to my Glimmora spot. I'm just being honest here. And it takes a certain level of player to just see our team and lead Amoonguss, by the way. We have like Whimsicott, Ogerpon, obvious Grass Terra on the Glimmora, I would say. We are Grass Terra, right? It looks like it's Grass Terra. We would have won last game if it was Grass Terra and we had Energy Ball, but I do think Energy Ball would be a better change over Earth Power in this format. You're just not seeing Heatran enough anymore. So we're just trying to disincentivize Spore here. And if you want to go for like redirection, like that's fine. Because you can't redirect a Water Pond. What are you going to do? Are you show me that Fake Out? Show me some chip damage? You're not that you would Fake Out a Glimmora here, but like if you, yeah, that's a good play there. And they hit that same slot. Okay, that's a good play because you Fake Out. You're not risking getting burned on the Incin. And remember, Spore goes through the Burning Bulwark. So really, really good play from them. So right here, we're threatening the Incin. I actually think we could get away with just going, I'm actually going to go Follow Me. And I'm actually going to click Meteor Beam into the Amoonguss. Because the Incin doesn't want any of what we're messing with right now. It's obviously going to pivot to something. Right? It ain't sticking around for this one. Even if it was like vested Incin, it does not want this smoke. And Amoonguss shouldn't be protecting. I think you pivot out your Incin for something that mitigates damage, and you try and Spore the Gomora, and then you try and regain board state. You need to save that Incin to be able to fake out things too, like, whoa, they're staying in. Weird. But it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter because they're not going to be able to Spore us here. Rage Powder is also not the play. Hey, if they want to be bad, we could have just killed their Incin, but, like, we can still kill their Incin after our +1. And if you want to, like, Parting Shot, that's fine. They probably are just... Are they U-turning? Are they vested? Weird. Yeah. So I could have just bonked their Incin in the mouth. Oh my gosh, that's sad. It's not sashed. Parting Shot. Cool. Nice. Yeah, that totally works. Like, Water Pond doesn't really care. And Water Pond is still threatening this Amoonguss. They didn't have a Citrus. So that means they're probably Rocky Helmet, right? Probably Rocky Helmet, I'm going to guess. So what does Gomora want to mess up this turn? What are you bringing out? Lando, maybe? I can just Terastallize, I think. Gholdengo. Good play. I mean, this is what the Earth Power is for, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, do we take those? You're not going to be able to weave in anything. I'm going to go for the Ivy Cudgel there because I can. Totally can. No one's saying I can't. I'm going to go for a Spiky Shield here. I can chill. I got one turn left to chill. You're not going for a nasty plot. And I would like it if you went for like a Make It Rain. Water Pond soaked a ton of the damage. And then next turn I Terastallize the Gomora. That's the idea that I'm looking for. How much of a flex would it be though to like hit my own Gomora with like a -1 Horn Leech to get some poison spikes up? Oh, that'd be sick. Now let's think about it. I think Gomora's a good mon here. It does make sense to have the Earth Power factoring in Gholdengo. I just don't think it's that popular anymore either. No switches on the Amoonguss, so you're just going to lose it? Oh, it's protecting. So next turn, that's going to swap. And let's see, are they going for a nasty plot? That's so freaking greedy, by the way. That's so greedy. That's so greedy. All right, there's the Make It Rain. Yeah, I was going to say, that's too greedy, man. That's just too greedy. This Gomora does threaten a lot of the board state. And so now you're at -1. All right, now what are you pivoting in? You crit my Ogre Pond. Great, dude. I'm so unlucky today, man. All right. Let's think. I mean, yeah, the right play is still Ivy Cudgel here. And I will Terastallize Grass and just go for the Earth Power. It's probably a 2-shot on this Dango. I kind of want to double into the Amoonguss slot in case they want to pivot in something weird. You could say, why aren't you Horn Leeching on the Amoonguss? You want to get that little bit of health left. You would actually take more from Rocky Helmet. It is Rocky Helmet, and they have things like Lando and Incin that even if they come in with the Incin and intimidate us, like, we can still crit through that and do a ton of damage here. They could also just pivot like Roaring Moon. There's the Incin. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with this play. Give me a crit. You know, you crit a non-high crit move. Can we crit our high crit move, please? That would be kind of nice. Here we go. Grass Terra. Remember, that Gholdengo's at -1. And they still have like a low health Amoonguss in the back that did get a Regenerator proc. I think we're in a good enough spot here, though. I think we're in a good enough spot. Grass Terra to just not die to Make It Rain, because we don't know if they're specs yet. It's Protect Dango, so they're not specs. It was hard to tell, because like they crit our Ogre Pond, it's harder to tell with the calcs. But Ivy Cudgel, this can crit! Nope, not today it can't. So let's think. They have a double Fake Out up. We have 2 Spiky Shields, so we could actually threaten the Incin on both sides. I actually think the play I like is just Ivy Cudgel here again. And I'm just going to Earth Power here. You could Fake Out the Gomora. You're just going to Nasty Plot. You're Fake Outing Gomora and you're Nasty Plotting. Like, I get that. I'd like to hopefully cost you your Incin this turn for this. But let's see what they do. The crit on our Ogre Pond was kind of lame. Just like in the first game, dude. Ogre Pond got crit twice. Terastallize. Okay. Fairy Terra Dango? No way. That's not right. That's not right. Why are you... Okay, I mean, next turn, I'm going to come in hot. I'm going to come in hot next turn with a Sludge Bomb. And you can Fake Out it. It's fine. You don't kill the Gomora. And you just set up Poison Spikes against yourself. Okay, yeah, go nuts. Can I get my crit, please? Second time's a charm? Nope. Never lucky. So we're faster than they are. Are they Nasty Plotting? Yeah, it just doesn't do it. They're going to go Protect, right? They're going to go Protect, and they're going to try and KO my Glim. Oh, they're not? Oh, they are. Are they vested then? On the Incin, they didn't get a Citrus Berry. This is a pin. And then they get to bring out... This is hard to say what I want to do here. Because they have the Amoonguss that we can bring up, but like we still have Urshifu. We're still good to go. Yeah, I'm okay with this. If you want to protect your Dango and pivot in your Amoonguss, they're not pivoting. They're just going to fodder the Incin. That works for me. That's like actually totally fine. And then we need to do something to get their Amoonguss off the board. But you can't Rage Powder me, because I'm a Grass type. So, like, this is a game. You super lose, buddy. Like, the Fairy Terra Dango was not the sauce, I think. You can go for Amoonguss, and you're gonna click Rage Powder, which is the funny part. But it's not gonna get you anything. We're actually just gonna double into the Dango, just in case we need a little bit more damage. And there we go. There we go. Yeah, you're gonna click Rage Powder. Watch this. Rage Powder is not as good as Follow Me last time I checked. Last time I checked, it's not as good. Alright. So this one should be over. They're thinking, they're like, why'd I send this Amoonguss out, bro? Yeah, just a little bit of extra damage in case we need it. Citrus. It's gonna be Citrus here, right? This is where the oh no, Citrus there, it's lefties then. We finally get our crit. What is up with this Dango, man? Makes no sense. Are they just like pollen puffing? They got Sludge Bomb? Amoonguss? Like, what is the play here? Pollen puff. Nope, nah, it ain't working. What if it was like Sash Dango, dude? Because we never saw the item, right? I don't think we saw anything. Yeah, and now we just go redirection. Urshi Water. Okay. Huh, this is dicier than I want it to be, probably. Because it's choice, I'm sure. We got good Mons in the back. We just gotta not lose 2 Mons this turn. I think I can actually just get away with, like, Follow Me. Just a little bit safe. And then just, like, Sludge Bomb should just KO this guy. It should. Yeah. Especially because they're gonna have to close combat. If they want a U-turn and lock in U-turn, they just can't break Gouging Fire in the back. So, yeah, CC, they're gonna be at -1. I doubt this thing is Sash. Oh, you crit that close combat, huh? This Urshifu's like, yo, all my moves crit. Didn't you know that? I'm Urshifu. Alright. So here we go. Dunzo. And then we crit it right back, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's busted, dude. Big busted. Alright, and then you can Pollen Puff, but like, yeah, you're Dunzo. So that's, you know, that's karma right there. And let's just bring out Gouging Fire. Let's bring out Gouging Fire. And let's go for a Heat Crash, because we can, and we'll get the wins. So cool game. So we were able to get the win, you know, against things that are a little bit more standard. Like that team, we were able to bully it just a little bit. But what we're going to do now is go take a look at the rental code one more time and start going into the team fixing, the part that I know all you guys want to see. All right, again, this is a super good rental code. Diego only makes good teams. This team got top cut at an event they recently took it to. So if you guys want to use this rental code, feel free. It works just fine. They just want to try and optimize it. And so I do think there are a bunch of little optimizations that can be made. I think that Urshifu would be better off just as an Incineroar. I think it's doing its absolute best Incineroar impression, but an Incineroar just would be a better Mon here. I also think that Whimsicott it's giving speed control with like Sunny Day and Tailwind, but I think you could add a little bit more like priority stuff with like Ogerpon and Rillaboom and actually give yourself some more terrain sustain and let the whole rest of the team work better. And then maybe add like a Tailwind on like a Zapdos with like multiple different fake out users to be able to fake out Tailwind correctly. So that's my idea moving forward. What we're going to do now is start taking a look at like changing all these things. So like we said here, we're going to make this into an Incineroar, right? We're going to make this into a Rillaboom. And we're going to make this into a Galar Zap. Right here. And I think Galar Zap, there might be a better Mon that works here, but I wanted like a Tailwind setter that helped support Gouging Fire correctly. This takes a lot of the pressure off of Gouging Fire. This does the same job as Gomora, which is to basically check Incineroar. And then it just does a good job at checking a lot of other things. It can still go with like a weird defensive Terra that can force your opponent to misplay. It has a good matchup into Amoonguss. It has a good matchup into Rillaboom. So those are Pokemon that would normally give this team like a lot of problems, and I think Galar Zap could definitely work here. So let's start building this set. I think that you could actually take the Whimsicott Sash that you have before and put that on this guy. And so like Sash here with Detect. So Detect, Tailwind. And then because we're Sash, I don't think you need Thunderous Kick. I think Thunderous Kick, because we're going to be faster than some of these and slower than some, I don't think you need Thunderous Kick. You also don't want to like Thunderous Kick something and give it like a competitive or defiant boost, right? So I just think close combat is fine. And then like normally you would like Brave Bird here, but we're sashed, right? So maybe you have to go dual Wing Beat. And there's nothing really wrong with dual Wing Beat. You can also just go Drill Peck if you don't want to miss, but I like the dual Wing Beat here. Dual Wing Beat is just really, really good. Yes, it can miss, but I like this move. I think it is definitely underrated, and it does good damage. It lets you break sashes in some situations, but at the same time, like, it is opening yourself up to getting citrus procs. So maybe, you know what? Let's just be safe, go Drill Peck. Drill Peck's fine. There's nothing wrong with Drill Peck. There's a lot of citruses, and the things you would want to hit, things like Rillas and Amoonguses, they do commonly have citrus, so this might just be a better option. You could also even cut this for, like, coaching, right? Or taunt. Those are also other solid options. Let's just go Drill Peck, right? You could also even put, like, an orb here and make it more aggressive, but I like this set. There's nothing really wrong with it, and because we're Sash, we can get away with the 252 club. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, probably change this guy's Terra. Ghost is good. I am going to go Ghost. It's very standard, right? But like it says, hey, Incineroar, suck it. That's kind of just what this says. You're going to go Grass, you're done. You're going to go not going to Terra, you're still done. Like easy peasy. You can also maybe even go Ground to help your matchup versus Raging Bolt, but I think this is fine. As for the Gouging Fire, I like this Eevee spread. I like that you actually took the time to make this a full speed set. A lot of people just go 244 and then they leave it because that's like all you need to actually get where you need to be with Gouging Fire. So I like the full speed set. I think it does make a lot of sense. You also realize that you don't need like full investment on HP and you split these up correctly. So I think this is a good Gouging Fire set. I want to see if this is where the bump is. Yeah, that's where the bump is too. So this Gouging Fire set's perfect. There's nothing at all wrong with it. You might want to think about going Grass Terra instead of Fairy, just because like you are a little bit weak to Amoonguss with this team in general. So that might be something to think about for the future. But I do like everything about this Gouging Fire set. The Ogerpon, we want to change this to be Grassy Glide, so we have a little bit more like Prow Spam option with this team. With like Rillaboom and stuff like that. And then we want to change a bunch of our Eevees around. We only really need to be this fast with Ogerpon, and so that's fine. I think you'd actually get more value though out of like a faster Ogerpon here. And then from there, because our Eevees are different, and Ogerpon has like a lower base HP, you just do it like this. This is what I would recommend for this Ogerpon, and you're going to be able to bully a lot more Mons with this set. And I think it just definitely hits really hard. The Rillaboom, this is where I'd go Miracle Seed. I think Miracle Seed Rill is really good because we're going to go Vest on the Incin. You can also maybe go Citrus here if you really liked it, but like I don't think you need to. So like Fake Out, Protect. So Protect's going to be value here. U-Turn, and Grassy Glide. And we're big on the Grassy Glide here. Like that's the whole thing this guy does. Is big Grassy Glide injury. We're actually going to double dip Grass. You could think about making that Fire, but I like the double dip Grass for people that are actually EV trained to live like the Miracle Seed, Grassy Glide, in terrain. So you go 252 here. You only really need to get to 107 if you actually want to play with the Tailwind, but actually on Rillas, I like to go speed reduced to 0 speed, so you actually just lead them versus Indities, right? And then from there, you know, you just go with like a 4, 252. It's actually super weird how like this is like mostly optimal because you're going to be restoring like so much health this Rill. You got to make sure to make this into Grassy Surge, but like this just does work on Rillaboom, and it's just kind of weird that that's how it works, but it works, right? You can cut this up and put a little bit in Speed Def, but since we're not putting anything in speed, just a 252, 252, 4 just definitely works fine. As for this Flutter, we're not going to have Sunny Day anymore, so like I don't think you need Icy Wind. But that being said, Icy Wind is still good because it lets you outspeed certain things. I think you're actually wasting like a lot of points in speed on this set, especially if I take out the Whimsicott and change how things work. You only really need to get to like right here. And honestly, Flutter might not even be a good mon on this team anymore. You might want to add something like your own Amoonguss or maybe even like a Cresselia here if you want something a little bit different. But you only really need to be right there. You only need to get to 181, which is going to be... Take some of these out. Doesn't really matter where we want to do it. Like 181 is the fastest I would go on Flutter, and then we can just basically go like this. This is basically the same set. I just usually make them look like this. And then if you want like defense, and like I think that this is a fine EV spread. There's nothing really wrong with it. I just don't really like the Icy Wind here. It outspeeds Lando. You're fine versus Lando, but I think you'd still be better off with a couple other options. Would Mystical Fire be good on this set? It might be. I'm always just a fan of Power Gem, and I'm just going to put it. If you want to change this Flutter's now the weak link for the team, but it still forces your opponent into like respecting certain matchups. Like we already outspeed things like Urshi over here. We have priority over here. You could even change this Flutter, honestly. You could put like a Life Orb over here, change this setup, and make this into like an Imprisoned Trick Room set, and that would help with your matchups, bad matchups into like these teams over here, like a Grass Terra, Sash, Imprison, Trick Room, Flutter. If you want to use Imprison, it's still good. Like people always say like, oh, Imprison's only for noobs. That's still good. It still works. Let's build this Incineroar. I'm going to build this AV. If you wanted to build this with a Citrus, you could, but I like the AV, especially into those Bloodmoons and into those Hatterines. It's really, really nice. Usually build this with Grass Terra. So we go Fake Out. Remember, because we're AV, we can't get Parting Shot, so we have to go Snarl and U-turn. And then we can still go Flare Blitz or Knockoff. It's completely up to you. I think that you can still use Flare Blitz. You can even use something like Temper Flare if you wanted to. But Flare Blitz is still going to be good because like we do have a bad matchup into like Amoonguss, Rillaboom, and things like that. So this should disincentivize those correctly. Incins need just a little bit of speed. I usually only 28's a good barrier for what I would like to go. And then I usually like to get my Incins. This is going to be really weird. I'm going to make this level 100 because I know I like to get him to 309 at level 100, which is the right EV spread. I think it's like 60 points. It might be like 100. I think it's 60. Yep. Oh, dude, I remember my calcs from Sword and Shield. This lets you basically just check Rillaboom correctly. It's a 2-shot after grassy terrain. So this is about all you really need, and it lets you hit pretty hard with like these 2 moves specifically. And then from there, you know, you can just throw a bulkier point into your HP and other just various spots. So that's fine. I think a lot of people actually like to go with 236, and then I think you're going to want to put like more points into your defense, probably about 100, and then just throw the last 84 in here. I think it's going to be an absolute fine set. So this is going to be a very, very bulky Incin that mitigates a ton of damage and now has Sustain from Rillaboom. And now we should have some like good options for what we want to do versus those like hard Trick Room teams. So what we're going to do now is just go play a few games and try and see if any of these changes that we made actually come up, and hopefully they do. So let's go play some games. All right, so let's take a look at this. We see the Gambit. We see Bloodmoon. Remember that one of the things they said they struggled with was the Bloodmoon Trick Room team. So that's what we're going to be messing with today. And yeah, let's go into this. I think that they're going to be able to get Trick Room up, and we just have to be fine with them getting that up. They also said that they struggle with like Gouging Fire balance, and so like Gouging Fire Water Pond is very balance-esque. Oh, this is going to be hard to deal with, but I think we definitely can. I don't think you need to lead Incineroar. It's a good Mon, but I don't think you need to lead with it. I like Rillaboom. Rillaboom Fluttermane seems really good into this, awkwardly enough. I think those are very good into this. I think you could still talk about bringing Incineroar. I don't mind Ogerpon. And then Gouging Fire. I'm going to try the Gouging Fire. I like Gouging Fire, and I think it could be really good in this team if we play it correctly. And so the idea here is that we would like to get that Mimikyu off the board. Are you Fake Outing me? Like, maybe. You're probably just going for a Heavy Slam. So, like, we could go for something like Grassy Glide there and just Shadow Ball you right away. If you want to Fake Out my Rillaboom, be my guest. It's pretty obvious that I would like to do this exact play. I really thought they were going to lead more like Gambit. Yeah, they made the right play, so they're going to get up the Trick Room. Right? And then we're going to have to pivot in here to block a Heavy Slam. So we're going to pivot out there. I'm going to protect and pivot. I want to see if they have Wisp here into the Rilla. So that's something I want to watch out for. If they Belly Drum me with this hands, I'm frustrated. But we'll see how it works. I think this team, a lot of the tools this team has are being able to correctly wait out the Trick Room. So let's see what they're doing here. Are you Belly Drumming? Shadow Sneak, that's doing nothing. Drain Punch. Cool, that works. So you're just vested hands. Awesome. So if we stick like a Breaking Swipe into that Iron Hands, it's just hot garbage. I'm just going to U-turn here. I'm going to U-turn into... Doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess we could just Hard Swap then. If you're going to Drain Punch me, I'm just going to Hard Swap in my Flutter. Like, I mean, right? Am I wrong? And then we pivot right back out to the Mimikyu, or the Rilla or something like that. And do I want to Dragon Dance? I think I am going to Dragon Dance this turn. It's a free Dragon Dance. Like, I'm not really threatened yet. Drain Punch block. Dragon Dance, are you Wisping here? Play Roughness. And they were... Oh, we were slower than they were, so they're full speed Mimikyu. Okay. And now they're faster than us. So now they're slower than us. Sorry. So I'm going to Burning Bulwark here. And I'm going to pivot in the Ogerpon. Nice. Bloodmoon. Okay, okay. Awesome. That's still a lot of damage. Alright, so let's think about what we need to do. I think I'm going to Follow Me. Let me actually think about this. I think I could actually just do this. And then I'm going to actually just click. If I keep... I don't want to double Burning Bulwark. I like this. It gives me this Def Boost. I shouldn't die to Hyper Voice, right? I shouldn't die to a Drain Punch or anything either. Like, yeah, Drain Punch is good there. You crit me! Ow! Bonked! They crit me, dude. I get crit more than any person in the world, I think. That was your last turn Trick Room, by the way. I don't think Shadow Sneak gets us here. Oh, let's think about this, though. I just need to stop Trick Room. Like, honestly, this says no Trick Room. You can Shadow Sneak that. Oh, and you don't even get the KO value. Dunzo, bro. He crashed D's. Oh, and then we get our crit. All right, so we got this one. Easy peasy, dude. Gouging Fire, kind of nice. You had the King Gambit the whole freaking time. Holy moly. Yeah, we got this one. Cool. Yeah, Water Pond Gouging Fire is like really, really good. And I like the small changes that we made to the team. We're going to play a few more games, obviously. But going Dark Terra, not bad, not bad. Losing that Fire Weakness. Sucker Punch going to fail. Big damage, just do it again. And do it again. You can protect, like I got this move all day. We got this all day. You could be salty as long as you want. Protect Gambit's probably Black Glasses Gambit. And yeah, so we'll take that win. And Sucker Punch fails again, and we take those. So pretty good stuff. Let's go into another game. Okay, Latias Balance with Volk. Those are hard to deal with, but like I think Zap is very good into the Volk. It's good into the Ogre Pond. It's good into the Incin. So like it's a good mon, but you don't need to weave with it. You don't need to weave with it. You need to actually bring out things that force them to pivot in Incin, right? And then from there you need to punish. Right, so if I lead Flutter, they're going to be like, yo, I can mitigate damage to that Flutter. I can go for big damage into it. That's where you pivot in the Zap that turn. So Flutter is a good mon here. Flutterilla? Flutter Incin? I like Flutter Incin. Flutter Incin's good. And then we're going to pivot in the Ogre Pawn. And I like Rillaboom here, but I think I want to go Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire is like the truth on this team. Clear Amulet Gouging Fire is one of like the coolest sets right now. It's the best item on the mon in my opinion. I know a lot of people like the Photosynthesis, but like I like being able to pivot. I like being able to invalidate Incineroar and outvalue it with Breaking Swipe. It's just so good. So we have Fake Outs up. There's the, they actually let Incin, dude. I can't believe it. I can't believe they were so degenerate. So they're probably just going to Terastallize this. Do I care? That's a really low power board. I can just click D-Gleam into this. D-Gleam, U-turn. Like you can totally Terastallize. You could Fake Out. I'm not Terastallizing the Flutter, dude. Like, I'm good. You could Tailwind. Yeah, go nuts. I'm just going to repin my Fake Outs. Why are you alive? That sucks. And their Helmet. You don't need to show Zapdos yet. What we need to do is, like, bring out stuff that makes them waste their time. I can just go Dazzling Gleam and just drop a Burning Bulwark here. I don't want to show my Terra either. So I think I'm still in a good spot. Like, you could pivot in your Flutter. And you could do Protect. There's so many things you can do here. I want to see if they're going to Parting Shot. Citrus is fine. Parting Shot into Flutter. Okay, so they're going to have to bring that thing out and give my Zapdos a Defiant Proc later value. And there's Urshi. Okay, that's fine, right? Am I wrong? Pivot in here. Just Breaking Swipe, right? Finishes that thing off. They might pivot that thing out, and they're faster than us right now because they have a Tailwind. But I don't know if they want to pivot. Yeah, so they're not pivoting right now. Recover. Good play. Good play. Wicked Blow. Cool, cool. Works for me. Awesome. So we take a little bit of chip damage here. They have one turn left on Tailwind, so I'm actually going to... I think I'm going to Drill Peck there. If you want to take out that slot, that's fine. But I'm going to Dragon Dance right here. And I think I'm going to Fairy Terra Dragon Dance. Because I would like to not die there. I think you're going to Wicked Blow here, and I think if you have like a Psychic or like a Luster Purge or whatever their special attack is, you're going to attack it right there. Recover, that's absolutely fine, because now I just outspeed you, right? That's totally fine. Yeah, now I got 2 mons that outspeed you, so I can just drop bam, and bam. And your Urshifu can Wicked Blow, but like Wicked Blow's terrible into this board. Glamora could never. Right? And what are you going to do, bring in Incin, mitigate me? Sucker Punch. Yeah, dude, like, you're big pinned. Big pinned. And then we still also, because we did the damage into the Latias with the with the Gouging Fire, we redirect this Drill Peck into that slot, and now you're forced to bring out that Incin. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Incin, I'll take a +2. We speed tie here. But, like, let's think of... Oh, they just scoop it up. So, cool. We're going to definitely take that win. Like, that was exactly what we wanted to do with the Zapdos. So, perfect. The last team I want to try against to play against is a Trick Room team. So, let's see if we can find one of those. All right, honestly, I looked forever and ever and ever, and I did not find any Trick Room teams. So, I'm just going to play against this. Metagross, Bolt Balance with a little Lando. I think this is fine. I don't know if they want to go Incin here. And since a good lead here, I think we can just lead Gouging Fire. Like, I'm not afraid of a lot of those guys, especially if I pair my teammates correctly. So I don't need Tailwind here either per se. I think I'm going to go like Gouging Fire and Sin, cycle in the Rillaboom, And then I'd like to bring Zapdos, but I don't know if we need Zapdos for like half those. I think you can just get away with Ogerpon. I think Ogerpon's probably the right play. Let's go Ogerpon. So like Ogerpon Rilla being able to like go for those big grassy glides and stuff like that, gonna be very, very nice here. Being able to solidify that Lando, even if they have like some sort of speed control from Electro Webs. So good stuff here. Gouging Fire is great right here. It's the big intimidating of that Ogerpon. And we're just gonna go Dragon Dance, and I think, you know what? I'm just going to go Dragon Dance, yeah. We're going to go Dragon Dance and just hard pivot in the Rilla. Like, what else am I losing here? Like, I'm just getting myself some sustain. You can go for a Moonblast, like, it just doesn't do that much. So Dragon Dance is nice here, and we now have a Fake Out pin. We could probably Oko that Flutter here if we felt like it. I'm going to go Bulwark. I wonder if we just Oko Rilla. I wonder if Grassy Guy just takes that thing out. I bet it does Weetera. Let's Bulwark and find out. I want to see it. Show me that damage. That damage. Protect here. Hey, cool. So next turn they can just go down. Are we going to Stomping Tantrum here? Ice Punch. Heavy Slam. Okay, that's just not it. So that means... Oh, and yeah, they got burned. Big sad. Big sad for you. So yeah, we're just going to go for the good old-fashioned Heat Crash. And Grassy God, that's definitely gone. Sash Flutter. Good thing I doubled into it like a professional. Holy moly. Sash Flutter to the degenerate. Yeah, go nuts with that Heavy Slam. You see the value that the Rilla actually brings to this team, like the sustain that it brings. Like, Whimsicott could never, right? There's this guy. We can do the exact same thing. Like, Heat Crash, Grassy Glide. You can go Poison Terra. Like, you can protect. Like, I don't think that it matters. Yep, what do you got? Heavy Slam. That's damage, but it's not enough. Heat Crash. We should probably Terrastallize there, but I don't think we need to. You're going to go like Poison Terror, right? I wonder if this just KOs. Yeah, Poison Terror right there. It's still great damage. It would have done about 5% more, but we didn't even need it. Nice Terror, buddy. Psychic Fangs. You got some other mix-ups there, and you just scoop it up, right? So, I mean, that's a decent-looking team that they had, but, like, you can just see that the Rilla brings, like, so much more value to the team. We didn't get to play any against any Trick Room teams, right? This is the initial team that was submitted here. But... I think the changes that we did make really did help. And if you are playing against like Indeedee Hat, which we fought against in the very first actual battle on ladder, you can just lead like Incineroar, pivot in your Rillaboom, take away the terrain, or you could lead Rillaboom and try and like speed tide the Indeedee, but you pivot in the Rillaboom, right? And then from there, you can just fake out the Hat, right? And then you have a and then they waste the Follow Me, and the next turn you can fake out Snarl, then they like still don't get up Trick Room, and then you get a second Snarl, U-turn, and you see how you can just like cycle that in and out forever and just like always have terrain control, stick like 2 Snarls into the Hat and be like really, really good. And if they want to bring in Bloodmoon, regular Ursaluna, you're weaving in Intimidates, you have a Grass on the board to mitigate the damage from like the Headlong Rushes and Earthquakes. And so you're in just a really, really good spot. And you're also threatening them with like big like Grass Terra, Grassy Glide. So that's how I would handle those matchups. Hopefully you like these changes that I made. I'll be including the fixed Pokepaste in the description of this video. But yeah, I think this team that Diego submitted, right, was already really, really good. And I had to think long and hard about how I would actually even want to change things to optimize it better for Trick Room. We played a couple games on Cart that, you know, were bad matchups that we tried very hard to win, but they were just really, really rough because the Glimmora, I think, was holding the team back. And so I think the changes that we made the team a little bit more aggressive while still having that good defensive synergy. And it actually allows the Gouging Fire to be the bully that this team needs to have now. So again, hopefully you like these changes. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And if you have a team you want to submit for team fixing, think about checking out the description where the Patreon link is. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time.